Hey everyone, this is Gleb Bakhmutov, and today I'll show you how to filter elements by checking if they contain another element, which comes up quite often in checking websites. Imagine I have those 4 li elements, and some of them, in addition to the text, like apples, grapes, pears, also include a label element, which is just a span with class new. And my question is, can you find all li elements that are new? The way we can do this is to get all li elements and then filter. And how will we filter? We can use pseudo selector has, and in parentheses, we're looking for li elements that have an element with class new inside. Notice we found 4 li elements and the ones with another element with class new inside, there were 2. So we can say should have length. Now, the assertion of length is quite useful. I use it all the time, but sometimes it can be imprecise. We really want to confirm which element have an element of class new inside. So we can try using should read, and then maybe we can say apples and kiwi, and the should read assertion comes from my Cypress Map plugin. But notice after it retries and retries and retries, it says, okay, the text that we got was apples new, and the second string was kiwi new. So it would be something like this, where we add new. And this is not something we want to check, because we don't want to check the text of a label, but when we use should read, it goes into the text content of a whole element, which includes its children elements, and it returns the label new. We don't want that. We want just the text content of the first element with no children of considered. The way we can do it, if we had our DevTools open, would be, let me just get the li element, would be to say, okay, there are child nodes, and notice there is a text and the span with class new, so there are 2. We are only interested in the element itself. So the child node at position 0 is the text node, and we can get its node value. Now it does include the trailing space, so we have to think about this. But what we want to do is the following. Okay, we want to remove the label and leave just the expected text. Because we're using Cypress Map, we can map each element in the subject, and we can say using simple dot nested property selector, I want to get child nodes, I want to get the first element, and I want to get its node value. So from each DOM element, we are getting the first text. And what do we have? 1 second. Should equal, first of all, because we're not dealing with elements, we're dealing with strings, because we map each element to a string. And now notice it has trailing spaces in the subject, so we need to map, and because we just want to invoke trim for each string in the subject, which is an array of strings, we can use mapInvoke that comes from Cypress Map, which will take each string and invoke the trim method. And last thing, it's not equal because we're comparing arrays. We want to compare the values, and we have to use deep.equal. All right, so this is how you can grab all li elements and filter to find all elements that have an element with class new inside using this complex selector. Then you have a subject with several elements. You can grab the text from the element itself, not from its children, remove all leading and trailing spaces, and confirm that the elements labeled new are apples and kiwi. This recipe and many more recipes for Cypress commands are on my website, Cypress Examples, and I will include the link in the description of this video.